Alright everyone, today we're going to be talking about tutoring, how to get into tutoring, and what to expect while you're tutoring. Maybe some more at the end about teaching in cram schools, we'll see. But let's get into it. Alright everyone, so there's two big groups of tutoring. There's online and in-person, and then there's many different ways you can recruit students. So first we're going to talk about recruiting students, and then we'll talk about the differences between online and in-person. Alright, so the different ways I've personally gotten students are from 1, Facebook, 2, other online recruiting websites, and we'll get into which websites those were and how I've gotten students from them. And then online platforms is the last way that I've gotten students, and we'll talk about that as well. So the first one, Facebook. There are tons of groups on Facebook, and you can find them just by searching the country that you're in and tutoring or language exchange or English or tutor, anything like that. There are tons of them. What I did was I just got a Word document, and I just wrote out basically my ad, and I took some pictures of myself, and I just copied and pasted those and uploaded them to a bunch of different Facebook groups. And I have gotten students through that method, but it's not the most effective way for me. I think I see a lot of people posting in those groups, so they got to be effective for a lot of people. Like I said, I've gotten some students from them, but it's not my favorite method. So although I would do that, I wouldn't do it a lot. I would probably just put them in a bunch of groups at one time, and maybe 3 months later try it again if you haven't gotten enough students, something like that. So that's pretty much what I've done for Facebook. On Facebook you can find many different types of students. You can find online, in person, you can find young, old. In addition to Facebook, if you're not looking for tutoring, if you also just want to do some language exchange, Facebook is a great place to find a language exchange partner as well. Okay, number 2 I mentioned was other online recruiting websites, and I think this is the least effective way, and I actually want to use this as a warning to try not to get involved with them. The 2 that I have used before are Tutoring, which is popular on Facebook groups. If you go into Facebook groups, you'll see them recruiting a lot. I don't know if they still are, but I know within the past year they were. The other one I've used is local job hunting websites in Taiwan. I think it's 104 is the one that I used before. Let me double check that. Yeah, 104 is the job hunting website that I've used before. So Tutoring, what I don't like about Tutoring is they take your 2 first weeks of payment no matter what. If you get 3 classes per week for the first 2 weeks, they'll take all 6 of those classes. They'll take the payment for that. They do not let you exchange contact information until they've received payment for those classes. I have found 2 students through Tutoring, and I was a part of the program for like 2 years, something like that, and I've only found 2 through them, and they did take the payment for the first 2 weeks of my classes with them. So I don't recommend going through Tutoring. If I've gotten any of the information wrong, I apologize sincerely. Go check their website and you can look at the details, but I do know they take about the first 2 weeks of payment. So if you're interested in them, definitely do your research before you join. I think personally, just my opinion, I think it's a waste of time, and I think you can find students through other methods. 104 is a job hunting website in Taiwan, and it's all in Chinese. If you don't speak Chinese, it's going to be very difficult for you to use that, so just so you know, don't even try if you don't speak Chinese. It's probably going to be way too difficult. In addition to that, there are 2 separate sections, one for typical jobs and one for tutoring. The tutoring one is where I've posted my job before in the past, but I did not find any students from them. I've gotten in contact with a few people through that, but I even had the paid version. Like I forget how much it was a month. I can't remember, but it's not super expensive, but to me it just wasn't effective. Maybe you can do it better than I did, but I think it was a waste of time and money. The third and final option for me is the most effective method, because all of my classes that I teach are online. I would not do this if 100% of your, if not 100% of your classes are online. I think this is the best only if you're all online, at least mostly online. There are 2 online platforms for tutoring that I think are the most popular, and I'll tell you which one I'm a part of. The most popular one, I believe, is italki, and you can see a lot of famous YouTubers who are like language learning YouTubers posted a bunch of ads for italki, and it is great for finding tutors on there, but you can also work for them as well. So you can apply to work for them. I'm not sure though what their policy is on like how much they take per class, what the average class prices are on there. I'm not really sure about all that, so I do your research. Currently I work for Amazing Talker. So on Amazing Talker, for English teachers, they start off by taking 30% of your classes. So if you just teach one class, they will take 30% of it, in addition to tax. However, that sounds like a lot. However, they take a % off for every $100 you earn on the platform. So that means if you make $100, they'll only take 29%. That also means if you make $3,000, so if this is like your full-time job and you're getting a lot of students and your rates are high enough, if you make $3,000, they don't take anything. They don't take anything in addition to just their normal fees and taxes. So I think if your full-time job is on there and if all of your students are through that platform, then it's really good. And that's the way that I do it. I've never reached $3,000 before on the platform, I'll be honest, but that's in 1 month, by the way. But I think the amount of students that I get through that platform make it fair to me with the amount of money that I'm making per class. Another great thing about all of these and tutoring in general is that you can set your own prices. I think there's enough time in this video, and I've been talking pretty fast, so I'll talk about my experience with Cramming Schools a little bit. I might make a separate video on this in the future, but we'll see. When there was no severe COVID situation in Taiwan, I think Cramming Schools were a great option. I think now it is not very... What's the English word for one thing? Not very steady. It's not a safe option, in my opinion. The reason is because, just speaking from my experience, when I worked in a cram school, I worked there from September or October of 2020. Yeah, that was 2020. And then in May or June of 2021, there was a huge COVID outbreak in Taiwan, and all of the schools went online, and Bushiban shut down. Bushiban is cram school, by the way. Bushiban shut down for 3 months, something like that. And I got very minimal work from them, and they did not allow foreign teachers to teach online. So that's actually when I started with Amazing Talker, the company that I'm with now. So I would just be cautious. I'd be careful with cram schools. You could probably find a good one. Another warning about cram schools is that it's very difficult to get a job if you have zero experience. It was hard for me to get a job at a cram school without experience. I taught by tutoring face-to-face or on Facebook for about a year before I got a job with a cram school. If you want me to talk more about cram schools in another video, definitely let me know in the comments, and I can tell you about my history with the cram school that I used to work at. And I think that's going to be it for this video. Those are the 3 main ways that I find students, or I have found students in the past. If you have any other questions about tutoring, language exchange, or working in Taiwan, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.